Hi there, it's Michelle. I am doing a angel card reading for the full moon in Scorpio, May 18th of 2019. I'm going to be using a few card decks. One is the Angel Tarot card deck by Doreen Virtue. I'll also be pulling a card, maybe two, from the Mermaids and Dolphins deck, as well as the Archangel Oracle card, all by Doreen Virtue. I think I'm still being called to do an Archangel Oracle card. We'll just kind of go through the sequence here and see what we get. So where I think we're going to get messages around this full moon, and why I wanted to do a reading associated with it, is I think in the first half of May, when the new moon took place, I think we started to see where some of the barriers that we had, some of the negative thought patterns that we have consistently led into, our either day-to-day lives, or how we make decisions, or how we approach new situations and opportunities. And I think it's, this first half of May, at least from my personal experience and what I saw coming when I did the May astrological sign readings, is that we were all going to be tasked somewhat with things coming at us from left field, things that we didn't anticipate, obstacles and roadblocks that we either thought were no longer a part of our immediate experience, or we had already dealt with, or were long gone, or we didn't see coming, have kind of shown up in the first couple weeks. And for me personally, I saw that happen as well, even though even when you know logically or intuitively that there's some potential for some things to come up, you can't predict what those things might be and what they might look like. So when they happen, you're still very much caught off guard, and in a lot of cases rattled by it. So what I think is going to happen around this full moon, and what I think the lesson around the full moon is potentially about, is kind of peeling back some of the fears associated with that. How ready do we really believe we are to handle something that we can't prepare for fully, that may or may not be a positive experience, that we don't enjoy, that we don't want to deal with, that we think we've already learned. We think we've already learned this lesson, so I don't need another universe lesson. Thank you very much. And what does that mean for how we treat ourselves, treat other people? When we start peeling back all of those layers, what does that really leave us with? Does that leave us with the sense of destruction and darkness, and a negative outlook, and this is the way things are always going to be, and I'm always going to be challenged, and I never get a break, and there's never an opportunity to just go with the flow? Or are we going to look at challenges and obstacles and roadblocks, potential or otherwise, as a way to say, you know what, I've learned a lot, I've gotten through so many things, I can get through anything. I can get through absolutely anything. And not only that, I have so many tools and resources at my disposal now. I have a far greater understanding of who I am and what I'm about, and why I can thrive even in those instances, that it's just going to bring me back to a more authentic version of myself. It's just going to reshape and further define what it is that I'm about, and why it is that I deserve amazing things. Amazing experiences, people, opportunities. And it's because I've gotten to the core of who I am and how I've dealt with challenges, and I've earned it. I've learned and I've earned. And so my belief is that around that time of the full moon, and I think even later into May, we really will have an opportunity to see the value in becoming more genuine with ourselves and others, more authentic about who we are with ourselves and others, and really determining what is in the way of capturing that core of who you are, what you're all about, and whether or not you're ready to share it with others at the most intimate and highest level of sensitivity. Because that's where you really get to be truly who you are, and you get to explore all that that is possible within the opportunity to express yourself. So that is my introduction before we get to the cards of how I see the full moon playing out and what I think it means for us individually. And obviously this is a general reading, but if you would like a personal reading from me, you can go to my website, angelawakening.net, or just follow the links below. So let's see what the cards say. Let's see what the cards say about the full moon for us, the full moon, May 18th, 2019, and how we can learn, further understand, and continue to move. 5 of air, an unwise choice. Learn what you can from the situation. Review everyone's motives. So I've said this before about air cards. I see it as typically as the air element in this card deck as a bit of just a cautionary tale of, potentially being in a worried state. I think collectively that's where we are. We're just collectively in a fearful state, at least in the U.S. is my perception. As a society, we are just, we're pretty high strung right now. And we create a lot of additional worry and fear and unnecessary concerns. And from that place of being nervous and worried and concerned, we can make choices and decisions that don't necessarily serve our highest purpose and good or others. So I think it's really taking a look at the situation, identifying where it is, where maybe there's an opportunity to reevaluate, reassess, go back, take a breath, and figure out why something maybe hasn't worked out the way that you wanted it to. And again, I felt like this throughout the month of May, as May was coming at us at the end of April, actually, that how we handled certain events and challenges and obstacles was really going to define how we move through the rest of the month and how we go through the rest of the year of 2019. So I really feel like the full moon is almost an evaluation point. It's a check-in point to say, this is where you personally are. This is where you've landed. You still have a challenge. You still have these things aren't going away. These people that are frustrating us aren't going away. These situations that are in our life, they're not just moving on their own. They may, certainly some things may just devolve as time goes by, but it's really about how we handle ourselves, how we identify the issue, and how we choose to move forward, knowing that the situation, needs another evaluation and needs another an opportunity for us to stand in our own integrity and in our own unique self. So there can be a real, I'm going to win, I'm going to battle this, and I'm going to I'm going to come out victorious. And, you know, I don't know that that is necessarily going to serve us at this point. We can certainly evaluate people's motives and their, you know, what they're coming into the situation contributing or not contributing. But at the end, it's really how we choose to express ourselves. 5 is the number of creativity and expression, along with change. And how we choose to express our frustration, or how we choose to express our personal integrity and who we want to be or become, even in the face of significant challenges, I think is a real lesson of the full moon. So, so let's see what the next card has. So we have another air card, 10 of air, the end of a difficult situation, embrace the change, expect things to get better now, recovering from an addiction. So I think with the getting the 5 of air and then the 10, you know, kind of progressing through the rest of the month of May, how we choose to address situations, address people, and how we look for the door to a new opportunity or a new beginning is going to really serve us as we continue to move forward into 2019. I think some people could see that, you know, there's potentially some sadness associated with that, because it's like, well, this is who I thought this person was, or this is what I thought this situation was, but, you know, it no longer resonates with me personally. If I'm truly going to peel back the layers and be who I am, then that can mean some difficult decisions have to come about in terms of people that are going to stay in my life, situations that I'm going to continue to put up with, relationships that may or may not, you know, serve me or the other person. And some of that can be sad because it is an ending, but at the same time, as you're peeling back those layers, you can't help but have a new beginning. And some of that, you know, you can start to question yourself and start to question, am I doing the right thing? Is this really going to improve my circumstances? Am I just throwing something away and hoping that something new will, you know, come along, and it doesn't, or it won't? I think the card here is really saying, expect that, yes, your decision to stay true to yourself, to stay true to who you are, to believe in what it is that you're doing and what it is that you're about, will absolutely serve your greatest good and help you become even more authentic, help you become an even better version of yourself than you thought was possible. Even though you can't see, you know, what amazing things are coming, you can't necessarily see, you know that there's light, but you don't know where the light is taking you. It can be a change in a project, a change in a career, a change in a relationship. But I believe really staying strong and true to who you are is going to help you significantly past the full moon and continue to help build off that positivity. We have another 7. We have another air card, the 7 of air. Plans that need revision, more going on than meets the eye, poor timing. So 7 being associated with relationships, I think this can be another call to recognizing that although if you're going to be doing some really hard work associated with getting to the core of who you are and being free and open to express it, you have to understand that you may or may not be dealing with people who are ready to do that. And as a result, that can change the timing in terms of your projects, your work environment, your personal relationships. Some people just aren't going to be ready. They're just not going to be ready to be that raw. And while you may be reaching out, or you may be, serving as an example, it can be a very lonely place because that's not where everybody else's head is. They're trapped in this, kind of tunnel of fear, and it's not letting them see the opportunity that's in front of them, the opportunity to be everything that they can possibly be as well. So that can change your plans, because if your plan has been to partner with someone in any capacity and you're working hard on a situation or an environment and you're not getting that same kind of response in turn, you kind of have to decide, at what point do I need to exercise caution and put the brakes on this? Or maybe I have to review the timeline on when I thought things were going to work out, or what I thought we could accomplish in a certain amount of time. And that can cause you to procrastinate. That can give them the open door to procrastinate. And you can find out that people have agendas that you had no idea, because they weren't being open. They weren't being as considerate about how this was going to affect you as you are trying to be with other people right now, as you were really trying to, use an objective eye to review plans and timelines and how things are going to affect others. That can be a very scary place for people who aren't willing to peel back those layers. So what decision are you going to make now? Wait, or choose another outlet, or choose another relationship, or live with what you got. And that can be a scary place. Let's do a clarifying card on the 7 of Air. 3 of Earth, the power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work, be a team player. So when you continue to be the voice of 3 being a number of expression as well, playfulness, and when you pull that level of creativity from yourself and you have a real appreciation for what that means to a team or to a group or to a relationship environment, people can't help but see it. They're not necessarily going to recognize it right away, but you doing something in the name of the group and in the name of what you think is right for the relationship will ultimately serve you. Stay grounded about it, obviously. Stay centered and understand, like I said, that there's not necessarily going to be an immediate appreciation or a reward, for how hard you're working right now. But that level of openness and willingness to stand in your truth and be as vulnerable as you can, knowing that you're protected, knowing that you're protecting yourself, and you're still holding up those necessary boundaries, will ultimately just let you be more expressive and creative in the end. We also have the 7 of Water, complex decision, the need to do research, stop procrastinating. So it's emotional. I mean, it's we're trying to do everything we can to be the best version of who we are, but it's not easy, and it can mean some things have to fall away, so that we can get out of this cocoon and really explore our options and really be all that we believe that we have the capacity to. That can mean that you're going, not necessarily, have to battle people, But it can just mean that you have some difficult choices to make, and not everybody's going to like your decision. um, you know, making sure that you're focused as much as you possibly can be, and you don't have expectations that are unrealistic. Like I said, that people are going to come around in a certain time frame, or they're going to immediately see your point of view, and there's going to be no back and forth, or no, debate or conflict is probably unrealistic. But conflict is not necessarily a bad thing. And as long as you're still standing in this is why I'm doing this. I'm doing this to be as honest with you about who I am as possible. How can people really fault you for that in the end? I mean, they can say they don't like that. They don't like who you are. And you can say, well, it's a good thing now, let's see what our mermaids and dolphins deck. So let yourself receive. Allow others to give you loving care. Receive without guilt or apologies. So the people who, when you open up, when you express yourself, when you define yourself by the hard work that you've done and what exactly it is that drives and motivates you, other people are going to want to help support you. Other people that resonate with your decisions are going to be there to give you support. And when they do, and when they are there, you need to be ready and willing to accept their support and to not apologize for it, and to not feel like they're doing something on your behalf that they're having to, that they're taking a beating for. I mean, people are going to support what resonates with them at that given moment in time. And all you can do is be a willing and open participant, as long as you're putting forth who it is, putting forth what it is that you're about, what it is that you believe, and being willing to work towards creating something amazing with the people that you want to be a part of that. We get Archangel Azrael, comfort. I'm with you in your time of need, helping your heart to heal. So, I mean, like I said, it's possible that, some of our original relationships could fall away. Some of our creature comforts that we were used to just don't do it for us anymore. And that could come in any variation from, an addiction of any kind, or, we have an appreciation for drink or food or substance or a recreational activity, or, and it can be it could be something that served us in the past, on any scale, at any level, that is now like it's not helping us get to the core of who we are anymore. And we're not feeling that sense of euphoria or that sense of adrenaline or dopamine hit that we were getting before. And if we're not, it's because we're not truly peeling back those layers to identify and define, this is what I'm about, and I'm willing to share it and express it. And I'm willing to take the risk that may or may not be for everybody. All right, so I hope that was valuable. Again, if you'd like a personal reading from me, you can go to my website, angelawakening.net, and I look forward to speaking with you all soon.